Bill Belichick and the Patriots in Baltimore taking on the Ravens. We've talked a lot about how good Lamar Jackson was. Let's take a look at how it was a rough night for the Patriots offense. Closing seconds of the first half, they have a chance to tie the game on a third down play. James White tripping over his own teammate, falling just short of the end zone. And so the Ravens would hold on to a 4-point halftime lead. Patriots opening possession of the third. It's Brady, it's Edelman, and the ball is going to be wrestled out of his grasp, and Marlon Humphrey is going to scoop and score. 70 yards for the touchdown. Ravens a 24-13 lead. And then with 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the Ravens lead was 10. Brady on a 3rd and 10. Doesn't have anywhere to go, so figures maybe I'll just throw it up there and try and get a pass interference call. Instead, it's Earl Thomas who comes down with it. Ravens would score in their ensuing possession. They'd never look back. Baltimore wins it 37-20. L.
Greeny, let's run the hurry up, and we'll start with the Chiefs, who beat the Vikings. And, Dan, they did it with Pat Mahomes wearing that. Where'd they do that at?
Where'd they do what at? This touchdown to Tyreek Hill, a beautiful throw, and a better catch. Extension by Tyreek Hill to get into the end zone. But Matt Moore did a nice job leading them.
By the way, where they do that at is just like the culture's way of saying how.
The culture.
Yeah, the culture.
We'll
get it next time. Rex definitely
that,
do. In fact, Rex, I know that you know this. The Bills are 6-2 after beating Washington. Are they a real threat in the AFC?
Yeah, hey, they're going to make the playoffs. They said it week 2, if I recall. Why? Because they beat up on bad teams. They won last week.
And there it is.
Beating on my brother's team.
And lastly, Deshaun Watson had another Deshaun Watson day. He said he was powered by the fuel of a Popeye's chicken sandwich. Is he your MVP, Dan?
I want more Popeye's chicken sandwiches. No, he's not. Yes, he is. You can't say either way. There's too many good players right now, and he's doing too many good things. The craziest thing about Deshaun Watson is he does so many things that you should not do at the quarterback position, but you want him to because he's that ridiculous. He makes them work more than anybody in the NFL right now. Dude, special is a disrespectful term for him.
So young quarterbacks on full display, and of course I'm talking about Brandon Allen in Denver. I'm not. Who is your favorite to win the AFC based on what you saw yesterday? And I'm going to start with you, Rex.
I'm going to say the Ravens. I'm going to say why. They're going to have to, some team's going to have to go into New England and beat New England. There's only 2 coaches that I know that can go in there and do it. I did it one time. Went into New England, beat them with the Jets, and Harbaugh's done it twice. We don't care about it. He doesn't care about it. You got to bring your running game. In those 3 losses, they've given up 160 yards a game. So you're going to have to run the ball against that New England team. And by the way, you got to play some defense. I think the Ravens can do it.
Let me get the handcuffs off because you are a prisoner of the moment right now.
I'm not. I just do it.
Listen,
I've been in that locker room. I know what the Ravens think of the Patriots.
The Patriots are still going to win the AFC, right? I mean, great performance by the Ravens, and they'll be a challenge amongst, the Chiefs and the Texans as well. But Bill Belichick now has some information, and we know that that's one of the things he does better than maybe anybody in the history of sports is take information and apply it to a game plan to help their team play as best as possible. And so, again, that will be a challenge, but I'm not going to be usually I am a prisoner of the moment. I'm not going to be today. The Patriots are still the best team in the AFC.
I'll be one. I mean, the Chiefs beat the vaunted Vikings with Pat Mahomes on the sideline. They're not in the cup.
Okay. The NFL is so great this year.
All right.
There's so many potential yes teams.
Well, let's see what the numbers have to say. Our Football Power Index considers the Patriots are going with Dan as the big favorites to represent the AFC. That's a stretch. I hope they didn't pull a hamstring. At nearly 50%, but the loss coupled with big wins from the Ravens, Texans, and Chiefs now has 4 teams with odds over 10% for the first time since week 1, Greeny.
All right, Al, thanks. And as we go on the clock here, our first topic is going to be about Russell Wilson and the Seahawks, and I can pass along a little bit of breaking news. Adam Schefter just moments ago tweeting that wide receiver Josh Gordon passed his physical with the Seahawks, will practice this week, and hopes to play next Monday night when Seattle takes on the unbeaten 49ers, which shapes up to be a huge game. We'll see what he can add. But my first on-the-clock topic is going to be Russell Wilson. 22 touchdowns, 1 interception this season. Should the Seahawks at 7-2 be getting more attention than they are? 60 seconds, go.
Absolutely, and it's because of the quarterback, Russell Wilson. What he's doing right now, listen, he's the highest paid player in the NFL, and it's still not enough money. His 22-to-1 ratio, put it in perspective, Baker Mayfield can throw a touchdown pass on the next 250 pass attempts he has, and it still would not be a better touchdown to interception ratio than Russell Wilson. Right now, every time he steps on the field, he's the best player on it.
No, the guy's absolutely amazing.
Is he the MVP right now, Rex Ryan?
Oh, shoot. You know what? I'm going to say, I'm going to take your guy from 2 weeks ago. I was Russell Wilson, but I'm going to take McCaffrey, and here's why. Because is it Russell Wilson? Is it Deshaun Watson? Is it Lamar Jackson? Is it Pat Mahomes? Is it whoever? All these quarterbacks are lighting this league up. But for what Christian McCaffrey's doing, it's crazy.
Here's the thing with Russell Wilson, and there's, 5 or 6 guys like this in the NFL. When you walk out on the field, all you have to say is, we've got 3. And that gives you the chance to win.
Next, on a day where we opened the show by suggesting there were 2 teams in dire straits, who should be fired first, Freddie Kitchens or Adam Gase? 60 seconds, go.
Yes.
I'm with you. Mic drop. I rest your case. I'm with you.
Nothing else needs to be said. Yes, they both need to go.
They're not going to go right now. At the end of the season, obviously, unless there's things that they need drastic change. I don't see that happening, so I would say they're both done.
All right, then we don't need any more time for that one. So I'll go to the last one because we're going to mix in just one college one here because I was particularly interested in your perspective on this because you did the Florida State-Miami game this weekend. Willie Taggart got fired at Florida State. USC, meanwhile, got embarrassed this weekend. They're 5-4 under Clay Helton. So 60 seconds on the clock for both of you. I'll start with you. Which is the better job, Florida State or USC?
I would say Florida State. A couple reasons why. It's still the state of Florida, and there's still a ton of talent, and there's no one going down there. I mean, there are some schools going down there and taking talent, yes, but no one owns the state in its talent right now. And you're in a conference that really it's Clemson. If you can find a way to get matched up with Clemson, then you got a chance to consistently win in that conference. And so I'd say Florida State, they're going to make a commitment to get back because of what they've gone through over the past couple years. Jimbo Fisher won a national title there 5 years ago, and so it's happened very recently. And I think people undervalue or underestimate the job Mario Cristobal is doing at Oregon and going down to California and getting all the talent out of L.A.
I think they're both great jobs. I really do. And when you look at it, which one's better, I'm not sure. Both of them can win national championships there. But you've got to go in and hire somebody that's going to turn it on its ear. So when you go to Florida, if you take the Florida State job, that guy has to go in and be the man. When you walk in, you got to win the state of Florida in recruiting as well.
Well, I mean, Urban Meyer did it, right? He did it at the University of Florida. He went into that state, and he won as big as you can possibly
They'll go
win.
after Urban Meyer. I bet you they'll go after P.J. Fleck at Minnesota as well. I mean, they need a big, strong, confident personality down there to get it back to its winning ways.
Meanwhile, we have a great moment from yesterday. We're going to make this our moment of versatility. It is brought to you by Dove Men Plus Care, designed for every position you play. Today's moment comes to us from Carolina yesterday. The team hosted 21 pediatric cancer patients and their families from Levine Children's Hospital. And during the game, you see the fans and the players on the field took a moment to wave to the kids. We see that on the college level at Iowa. We saw it yesterday with the Carolina Panthers. They'd go on to win the game 30-20, but they won long before they